this is the guy that got dragged out. He's fighting and he's dragging. He's doing all this stuff, right? You can't do that. You can't yell and do this. Like, what are they doing here, right? I mean, you need two people to hold this guy down just to try to remove him. They tried to peacefully remove this person and he refused to leave. You can't have somebody do this. You can't have somebody go and do this. That's it. He resisted. He didn't just resist. He's aggressively fighting and yelling. Like, this isn't the way that you act in a first world country. It doesn't matter whether you're a veteran or not. That doesn't give you a right to go and do whatever you want. That's crazy. So this is the issue that I have. And those understand defending the Iranian regime, a damn in dress blues, that's shameful. And that's also true, is that, well, this person is using their uniform to basically push a political agenda. Fundamentally, I think that that's a selfish act. The truth is, like, I mean, we had this in ROTC. Like, I was in ROTC in, like, fucking, in like, high school. Is that you are not able, like, if you got in trouble while you were wearing the uniform, oh my God, they would get so angry at you because it disrespects the uniform as well. And so that's the main issue that I have. Got to dress blues to disrespect the uniform? Well, I don't even think that it's like, if you want to advocate for this, and this is another big component to what I'm saying, is that I think it's totally within his freedom of speech and totally within his right to act and say the way that he wants to do it. But the moment that you do that in a public space and you disrespect other people's time and their space, now I think that there has to be accountability for that. And the truth is that what I'm advocating for in this case is completely and utterly obvious. Everybody knows this is true. We can't have every single person who has a moral distinction or a moral disagreement with, like, what some politician is doing cannot be allowed to come in and violently, aggressively yell over that person and shut down the event. We can't live in a world like that, because if we did, every event would be getting shut down. And this is the type of, again, this is the moral and emotional short-sightedness that some people have that apparently I'm seeing through and they're getting mad at me for. So that's it. Yelling is violent. Well, I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, like, if you're right there next to people and you're right there next, this is the same guy too. Yeah, if you're right there next to people and you're screaming in their face and everything, yeah, that is kind of yelling. And not only that, but I'm talking about fighting against the police right after that. And it's very easy to just not do that. And this is Marine Corps veteran says he suffers from mental illness due to Gaza genocide. This is another one of these people, right? And so this is another person. This person's not talking about America. They're not advocating for this. They're advocating for another foreign interest. That's really all there is to it. I called it. Yeah, exactly. So being a vet doesn't give you carte blanche? No, it doesn't. And the thing is that, and I know that people will go against me for this and they'll get angry at me for this. And this is what happens, is that, like, usually whenever one of these instances happen, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a few examples previously about this, is that I'm one of the only people that doesn't look at things emotionally. I don't. And I'll give you some examples. Whenever Renee Good was shot by that police officer, I said rip bozo on the morning that she died. I did. I said, that's what you get. You shouldn't have fucking done that. Everybody was furious at me. People were so angry at me for saying that. But after more clips and more images emerged and more information came out, it became more readily obvious that I was right about this. They even interviewed, like, her father-in-law or something, and he said that she wouldn't be in heaven. Who the fuck says that? What woman loses custody of her kids? I'll tell you what woman loses custody of her kids. A fucking nutball does. That's the truth, and everybody knows it. So anyway, that's one of the instances where everybody got mad at me. And then as time went on, as cooler heads prevailed and reasonable people took over and they went back to the conversation, you had more people coming and saying that, actually, wait a minute, I think I know what you were saying. Alex Preddy was another one. I said, let's reserve judgment until we see more information. People got furious at me because I wouldn't immediately condemn the government for doing that. It turns out that he was another unhinged, violent protester that kicked the taillight off of a police car. The only mistake that ICE made with Alex Preddy is they didn't arrest him a week later and take away his gun. If they had done that, he'd still be alive right now. So that's the thing. And whenever I said this at the beginning, everybody got angry at me because they said, well, you can't say that because of this emotional mandate they felt they had. I don't feel that way. I don't have emotions that way. I think that thinking like that and behaving like that is completely 1 week earlier, excuse me, not later, a week earlier. And the reason why is that I used to feel that way, and I've tried so hard in my life to kill that part of myself because I feel like it's so poisonous and so toxic. I think back of all the times in my life where I've made a decision based off of emotion, and I cannot think even one time that it was the right decision. I can't. And so every time whenever I see something that's problematic or something that's upsetting, I always take a step back and I think. I take a step back and I think. I stop reacting. I stop, like going and being like, oh my God, this is so fucked up. I think. And that's all I'm asking people to do is think. That's all I'm asking. And I'll read a few more comments. Once emotion is involved, that's GG. You never made a WoW purchase off of emotion? I don't think so, right? You got a GoFundMe page by an NC Senate. It's a political ideology, bro. Of course it's political ideology. They're angry because we see through emotional manipulation and disingenuous bullshit. That's exactly right. And so you never made a decision by trusting your gut and intuition over your logic, or is that different? I think trusting your gut and intuition is different than getting upset and then making a decision whenever you're upset. Now, I understand that we can draw distinctions and separations and everything. I don't want to go and make 50 different, points on this. But think about where the Marine vet was. This is a chamber of people where decision makers are. If not to speak up there, then where else? You never seen any other BLM protester get violently ripped out? So this is another person. I'm going to pull you up. You've never seen another BLM protester get violently ripped out of from wherever they are as quick as that vet. What do you think that I would say as a response to that? What do you think my opinion to that is? Here's what my opinion is. They should be, and it's a disgrace that they're not. That's what my opinion is. I think they act like violent, wild animals, and they have no place in Western first world society. We have a process. You have to follow it. If you don't follow it, you turn into Somalia. That's it. It's the way it is. Thoughts on January 6th then? So, I'm going to pull you up. What do you think my thoughts on January 6th are? I'm not gonna tell you what they are. I'm asking you what you think my thoughts are. Actually, you've been following very recently. You might not be familiar with my content. On the day that January 6th happened, I condemned it. I continue to condemn it. It was a bad decision. I totally am okay with the people getting arrested. And I think the woman that got shot there, that's what you get. That's what you get. Shouldn't have done it. Yep, shouldn't have done it. It's the way it is. They're now working for ICE. Well, I wish they were. And so anyway, base, but January 6th, exactly, it's the same. Yeah, didn't you say Destiny convinced me? Destiny convinced me that it was an insurrection, more so that, but I had already decided, I already knew it was bad. But like what he was saying about it being an insurrection of them trying to change the outcome, I was like, yeah, actually I can see where Destiny's coming from with this. That makes sense. So yeah, for sure. How do these people justify this, but then condemn January 6th as holding on to a point? You can't do what you want in Capitol buildings? Yeah, exactly you can't. Obviously not. People painting a picture that you're an Islamophobe. What's your stance on this? I think that there's things that each culture has and does that are problematic. Like, for example, I think that the way that Americans make their kids move out at 18 is problematic. I think that I think that there are a lot of Islamic people that, are very, kind of, let me think of the best way, like the most appropriate way to say this. Like, I think that the Sneeko age of consent conversation is the same thing, right? It is obvious that Muhammad had a bride that was underage. Like, by today's standards, that's true. And I think that a lot of them, try to, delegitimize that or try to talk around that, etc. And that doesn't mean that it should still be there. Islamophobia isn't real. Yeah, and also that's another thing. Let me take a step back and talk about that too. Is that Islamophobia isn't a real word. It's not a real thing. Islam is a religion, and a religion is a collection of ideas. And a collection of ideas is absolutely acceptable to be criticized. Every idea can be criticized, whether it's Islam, Christianity, science, mathematics, or being a Democrat. That's the reality. So anybody trying to, put the phobia label on criticism of the religion is just trying to shut down criticism of the religion. I have no interest in that. I don't. Even by the standards of the time, it was way too young. Even God criticized multiple times. Do you think anti-Muslim bigotry is a real thing? I think that definitely there are people that are hostile and negative towards Muslims generally. Yeah, I think that's true. But I think that's true for every group, right? I don't think that for Muslims it's some kind of unique thing. And I think that inside of American popular culture, it's much more culturally acceptable to be hostile and negative towards Christians than Muslims. And I think it's been that way for about 10 years. So, do we have a word for that? No, we don't. But we still have people doing it. This is my opinion in general, right? Is that I think that the overwhelming majority of people who practice Islam, Christianity, and Judaism are peaceful, good people. I do. I think that's the majority of them. That's the overwhelming majority of them. But the moment that you don't call out the extremists and the bad actors inside of your groups and inside of your communities, you then become defined by them. And I think that's one of the big problems that's happened, is that this is the same thing that's happened with the trans community, for example. And I think it happens with all kinds of ideologies. So whenever I criticize this or I tell people that they're, being unreasonable with this, I think that I'm being extremely fair. You just recognized Christophobia as a real thing this week? Wow, that's new. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, you calling out the kid diddling priests? Yeah, of course I would call that out. Absolutely. Like, what do you mean? Why would I not do that? So, yeah. It's actually longer when schools remove the Pledge of Allegiance that was basically an attack on Christianity. Yeah, you should have never removed the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, that's insane to do that. Like, and again, that's the type of anti-American sentiment that I hear. And what I'm saying is that all of this anti-Israel sentiment is not necessarily pro-American sentiment. And I think that some people fall for the false god of anti-Israel, and they look at that, and they think that they're fighting for America. No, you're not fighting for America. You're fighting for another foreign country, another foreign interest, another side that's not your side. So yeah, that's really the way that I feel about it. Do you separate faith and religion? Not really. I mean, I've never even heard there being a distinction. And but I'll go back. I'll look at this here. And what's this here? Xenophobia? Like in 9/11 happened, a lot of legal immigrant Muslims are being hated and forced to get out of certain public places. Fucking hated it. And that's disgusting, and they didn't deserve that, and it's completely wrong, and there's no justification for it whatsoever. It's the exact same thing that happened to Asians during COVID. I think that you're totally right about that. And the problem is that I am a person, this is Nico after they kill Khomeini. Yeah, I'll look at this here, right? And, let me, okay, so I've talked about this a lot. I'll at least look at what Sneako's saying, right? Because I've just been talking. I'll respond back to his comments. So this is him, and I don't know if this is the full thing. I saw a couple of other clips of him talking about me. I apologize if I'm not getting the entire thing, but we'll go ahead and just watch this here. So he's watching me talk about this Marine that got removed from the area. Let's watch it. Here we go. That's what you get.
Just broke the hand of a Marine.
Yep. These people are absolutely and completely addicted to optics. They are. All they care about is how they're seen.
No, he cares about his life.
And if he did that, then he wouldn't be fighting against police officers and resisting arrest and then sticking his arm in the door to prevent them from pulling him out. If he cared about his life, he wouldn't do that.
He cares about the lives of his fellow troops. He cares about the fellow Americans that are going to go to a war under a false pretense.
Does he care about the fellow Americans that were killed by proxies that Iran has been funding for the last 30 years? Does he care about that? Because it's going to be 40 years. It's going to be, it's 47 years right now. It's going to be 50 in 3 years if we don't get rid of them. Iran destabilizes the entire region. They fund terrorism. They fund groups that are probably going all the way over to Europe. Like, a lot of these people that are doing this stuff in Europe are probably being indirectly funded by Iran. And I think that there's no denying that Hamas is. Hamas is a terrorist organization that kills and rapes people. including American citizens. So what about them? What about when Iran gets a new ballistic missile and they shoot it somewhere and they kill Americans? Again, what about that? This like intentional oversimplification is totally unfair. It's totally unfair. It's completely short-sighted. I don't agree with this framing at all. Full screen? Okay.
He cares about truth. This is what being American is all about, Asmongold.
Being an American is all about disrupting an event and then stopping that? What is this here? Oh, let me listen to
It's not siding with the tyrannical government, getting people to die for a lie.
It's not siding with the tyrannical government, getting people to die for a lie? Well, what do you think Iran's government is? This is what I think is funny, is that, what do you think Iran's government is? I'm not saying this guy doesn't have his freedom of speech. He can say whatever the hell he wants. But you can't go into a public space, interrupt an event, and then resist arrest from police officers and then act like a victim. You shouldn't have done it. Yeah, it's like Iran is a theocratic dictatorship that kills its own people systematically.
It's the people standing up against tyranny.
You mean the 40,000? Or sorry, I guess it's probably 40,000, but 30,000 is the number that's used. You mean the 30,000 people that Iran systematically executed for standing up against tyranny? Is that it? That this guy is trying to completely discredit and totally remove their credibility by acting like this has anything to do with Israel? Has it ever occurred to you that Iran is a threat that is completely independent from Israel? So you care about their protesters more than ours? I care about the you didn't listen to the first thing I said about how they fund terrorist groups that kill Americans. You didn't listen to that. You need to learn to listen. Shouldn't have put yourself in that situation. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it.
Dude, you're trying to...
I missed it.
He's trying to put him in a situation where he's dying in Tehran.
They do? He's acting like a retard.
The hand of a Marine.
No, he's not. He's trying to prevent a situation from him dying in his own base. Whenever Iran gets more missiles and they shoot those missiles at a U.S. base and then they kill people. Or they finally get the capabilities to shoot a missile to America and then they shoot it to America and they kill Americans. Iran, whenever they got attacked, they went and apparently they're denying this, right? But a missile was shot towards Turkey. It was shot towards, what's it fucking called? UAE, Azerbaijan. You've had fucking Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Like, these are supposed to be their allies. Cyprus, again, Dubai, yep. I mean, they flew it. How can you possibly look at these people as anything other than terrorists when they're flying drones into hotels? How's this work?
Coward.
Is there not leading and defying orders? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, Asmongold, do you know how this country started? They were defying orders by dumping the tea in the ocean.
Because they couldn't vote. He can vote. This is a bad argument. The Boston Tea Party happened because people couldn't vote for King George to leave office. Whenever Donald Trump said in 2016 that he was going to bomb Iran and prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon, I guess you weren't listening. When he said in 2024 that he was going to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, you still weren't listening. This has been a consistent position that Donald Trump ran on, and anybody who cared to educate themselves on the topic would know that Donald Trump has said multiple times that he didn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon and that he would stop them from getting a nuclear weapon. So the idea that you can compare this to the Boston Tea Party, a revolt against a monarchy, and then again, like, also keep in mind that if it was up to England, right? England, this is the people that are from the Boston Tea Party are the ones that are in Iran that need our help. They need our help fighting against their tyrannical government that takes the little amount of money that their country makes and then they send it to build bombs to blow up Israel rather than feeding their own people. They can't even get water. Their currency is worth less than monopoly money. And you're talking about this is like the Boston Tea Party? Like this random guy is like the Boston Tea Party? What are we talking about? This is such a deliberate misunderstanding.
They flipped over the boats. Look at this. Come on.
I don't know. Did they flip over boats? I thought they just threw the tea in the water. Maybe they flipped over boats too.
Smugness here is insane.
So I am smug about it because I hate people that do this. I think that they destroy our culture and they destroy the good things about Western society and American culture. And they do so under the guise of virtue. And I find it to be disgusting. Senator helped drag this piece of shit out? Yep. Oh, God. Yep.
Calling a veteran a piece of shit.
There's a lot of veterans that are pieces of shit. There's murderers that are veterans. There's rapists that are veterans. There are people that plant bombs in places that are veterans. This idea that you can ascribe some sort of moral virtue to veteran and then it can't be criticized because of it being a protected status, this isn't going to work with me. This is cheap emotional optics tricks and everybody can see through it.
Bro, it's like you put your life on the line for this country, or so you think.
You do. And there are people that lost their life on the line for this country because of Iran's actions, and it's happened over the last 30 years. And it will continue to happen for as long as the Iranian government is in power.
Think, and look at the way you get treated. Oh my God.
He's not getting treated this way because he's a veteran. He's getting treated this way because he's violently resisting the police that are trying to get him to leave. You're intentionally misunderstanding the situation to create a narrative that doesn't exist.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please.
Damn, bro. You broke your arm all for nothing. Yep. And now you're going to catch a charge. You got 3 charges, actually. Rip Bozo. That's what you get. That's sad.
Bro, you want him to get him to die for nothing.
I don't want him to die for nothing. I don't want him to die at all. I am advocating for the plan of action that will cause the least harm and the least death. In my mind. Now, you might disagree with my approach to this, and you can say that that won't happen, but that is what my perspective is. I am looking at the long-term effects of a nuclearized or a ICBM Iran that can shoot missiles anywhere in the world, and I see that in the long run, and I say, this is really dangerous. This can be scary. This could cause a lot of people to die, including Americans, but also Iranians too, and all the people all around the Middle East. It's not just Americans, it's everybody in the whole world. And I think about it, you know, from that perspective. I don't think about it from a perspective of this instance, like this small slice of time. This has been ongoing for 47 years, and these terrorist groups have ramped up really in the last 30 years. You can look any of this up. You can look any of this up on the internet. You can find this for yourself, that Iran, like, look at how many terrorist groups does Iran fund, and how many of those terrorist groups killed American citizens and American soldiers. And you're going to see that it's a really big number. So what do you think is going to happen when they get better weapons and better technology? You think that they're just going to stop doing that? It's naive. It's fucked up your whole...
My prediction, bro, he's going to apologize for this statement. He's going to apologize for this statement. I remember when he said the Palestinians are subhuman, and then, you know...
It's not exactly what I said.
He got banned on Twitch for 2 weeks and then apologized. This was another one of those situations. Overall, I think he's well-intentioned, but...
I am well-intentioned, and I the thing is, I like Sneeko too, but I really dislike this perspective he has. And the main point of criticism that I have with Sneeko, whenever you're saying you're well-intentioned, is that, and this is something that I hope that he can, like, maybe hopefully he'll be able to see this. How is it that this is Sneeko whenever Ali Khamenei passed away?
در ماه مبارک رمضان با سر دادن ندای آسمانی فست و به رب الکعبه به ساحت مقدس الهی واصل گردید و شهد گوارای شهادت را در این ماه مبارک نوش نمود.
This was a terrorist enabler that killed, oppressed, and murdered tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. For you to say that he was martyred and he is in paradise or he has the highest place in heaven, think about the type of moral inversion that you would have to go through, that your heaven would provide the highest honor and the highest place for a person responsible for such evil. How is it that your moral system can be consistent when you think that a person like that deserves to go to paradise? That's evil at its very core. He said he wasn't perfect. Khamenei was not perfect. No, he wasn't. He was not. And the fact is that I understand that there are people that are flawed and there's a spectrum, but Khamenei isn't on that spectrum. He's at the end. He's where you measure the ends of those spectrums. This guy turned off the internet so he could systematically kill his own people. I don't know why Sneeko is allowing himself to be co-opted, because I think that in a lot of cases, Sneeko does have good takes on certain things. But the problem that I have with this is that I think that you're falling off on this side, and you're thinking that the anti-Israel side is the pro-America side. I don't think that it's the pro-America side necessarily. I think that there is a third option that is not pro-terrorist regime in Iran, and it is not pro, you know, again, I'll throw you a bone, terrorist regime in Israel, and it is pro-American regime, period. Too many people decide that because they're against Israel, that means that they're for America. No, there are many other forces in the world that are also malevolent besides Israel. Let me continue.
This is extremely incorrect. This is an indefensible take.
Is Sneeko Shia Islam? I mean, like, I don't think he is. I don't think so. But most people are not. Shia Islam is like about 10%. Sunni is about 90.
I honestly think it's disgusting saying that, bro. Disgusting.
I don't. I really don't. And I think that we need to have a conversation about what people do and their accountability whenever they do things that are bad and that hurt other people, and they advocate for things like that. And I think also if you're going into a public place and you get removed and you fight against the police and you get hurt, that's what happens. The fact is that you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. I have no problem with him exercising his freedom of speech anywhere else that he wants. But whenever he decides to do that and he refuses to leave, that's a different conversation. They're basing their morality on disliking Israel because it's popular? I guess. I don't know about everybody, but that's what I think.
I give it a day before he apologizes for this. Even to the people in his comment sections, I hope they see this, right?
Yes.
People in the comment section
Me too.
saying, like, oh, Sneeko got brainwashed. I think I should have a conversation.
I don't think that you're brainwashed necessarily. I just think that this perspective is wrong. Like, that's, I'm not, like, there's no, I don't need to get emotional about this and be personal about it. I just think this perspective is wrong. And I think that really, like, how is it that you can think that a person like Khamenei is going to go to paradise? How can you possibly believe that? How can you possibly think that Iran isn't going to continue funding terror operations around the world? How do you, like, and also, like, again, if you want to make, like, a cultural argument for it, I bet Khamenei's probably killed more Muslims than a lot of other people. He's probably been responsible for the killing of many of them. Anybody who disagrees with him, he's bombing Saudi Arabia. What's Saudi Arabia's religion? Muslim. He's bombing fucking UAE. What's their religion? Muslim. He's bombing them too.
With Asmongold about this. I said it yesterday, I said it today, I hope the Clippers clipped it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to react to the 17-minute video. I want to speak to Asmongold directly about this. Doesn't have to be a heated debate in this conversation. There could be mutual respect. I think overall we have similar objectives, and the back and forth stuff, it's getting a little annoying. Right? Anybody in like, his comments saying, watching Sneeko get brainwashed is this?
I don't, like, there's no reason to resort to personal attacks. I don't need to do that. Like, he's not doing that. Why would I do that?
Sneeko gets brainwashed. Then we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let me read a few more. And no, Khamenei being a terrible person is irrelevant. When you think about we're all at his level, Goy cattle, sure. And look how many people died in the Yemeni civil war started by a terrorist group funded by Iran. Yeah, they're very problematic. More info on the guy they arrested. Who is this? Let me pull it up. And this is the person that they arrested. Let's see here if I can pull it up here. And this is a Green Party member. Who is this guy?
All right. Hello, my name is Brian McGinnis, and I'm running for the congressional seat for North Carolina. If voted in, I will present to Congress the Great American Acknowledgement, a reparations plan for black families. I'm not the
so
one
he's going to do black people reparations. Wow.
To speak on this as a privileged white man. I will anyway.
He's acknowledging the original sin of white people. This is disgusting. I can never support a person that does this.
Out of deep remorse for our American history, if I, as a white man, don't speak against what some fellow whites still stand for today,
What do they stand
discussing
for?
foolish white supremacy,
What do they
then I'll
stand
be
for?
damned.
What is it?
I sure as hell insist Jews denounce the state of Israel right now.
I'm sure they'll get
I
on
hear
that.
them now.
Right.
How do you plan on paying all those reparations? Simple.
I don't.
Take the money we give to Israel and give it to American black families.
This person, Brian McGinnis, who's being held out as the only Marine whose opinion matters, a true dyed-in-the-wool leftist, is running for office. Now, to be clear, maybe Senate, maybe...
Yes, this was a political ploy that he did. This had nothing to do with, well, I mean, obviously it did have to do with the ideology, but at the same time, this is the factor.
Congress, we don't exactly know. A member
Why
of
is slavery an issue at all? The best reparations for black people was a fair chance today. That's my advice. That's my opinion. I think black people deserve reparations, same as white people do, same as everybody does. There have been a lot of people that have been systematically oppressed in America over the years. You look at the Japanese, you look at, black people, obviously. You look at certain groups of white people as well, Irish. And you want to look at providing them a fair opportunity and an equal chance in America. That's reparations. Those are real reparations. Because every black person wasn't created equal. The children of Obama don't have the same chances as, some random guy that's living in Section 8 housing. Even if they're both black. Every white person doesn't have advantages either.
the Green Party donated to Jill Stein. Where's, oddly enough, an Ireland and Palestine flag pin?
What? Yes. So we have this person. He's wearing an Ireland and Palestine flag. Again, look at this. This is the person that wants to be seen as an American. This is what I was saying, is that being anti-Israel is not being pro-America. Not necessarily.
What? Is he Irish?
Yeah,
He
on his
must be
campaign
Irish.
website. And in case you were wondering, so the people who say they're America first, and you're not America first unless you understand that America is the bad guy. And look at this non-active duty Marine who's violating this code of conduct, right? He is more American than you. You need to support him because he's America first.
So I'm gonna pull up a couple of people and we'll respond to this. Because, yeah, this is the guy. And what is this here? You're not analyzing things deeply enough. What am I not analyzing, and what should I be analyzing instead? What is it? IRGC is calling for killing Iranians in the streets again? That's also true. And so this is happening at this very fucking moment. It is happening right now at this exact moment. Let me go ahead and show you guys. The regime in Iran just vowed to murder Iranians on live TV if they take to the streets. Anyone on Iran's soil who speaks on the same wavelength as the enemy, under their feet is Tel Aviv and their head is Netanyahu's. We have issued a shoot-to-kill order for all of our forces. And I want to reiterate a point that I've made multiple times and I will make again, is that the ownership that is being, I think, unfairly given to Israel of the Iranian revolution is the most dangerous thing that could possibly happen for the Iranian people, is because it creates a permission structure for places and groups like the IRGC to justifiably kill their own people because they're going to call them foreign agents listening to Israel. And Sneeko, again, was being posted on Iranian state television as an American source. If you have terrorists that are posting you as a source, maybe that's not a good thing. I understand it's guilt by association, and it doesn't mean that he's necessarily wrong, but it's something that's worth considering. Can we analyze the situation further? You have one more chance to create a response that's not a vague comment. And if you don't, you're getting permabanned. I don't like vague comments. Like, I have no problem with people that want to make comments. That's totally okay. But this is vague. You're vague posting right now. What is this? Only terrorists are America and Israel? Tell that to the Iranians that are being killed. Tell that to the people in Sudan that are being killed. And do you know who's funding them? Places in the Middle East. That's why they're letting it happen, because of the diamonds and other types of rare earth materials. I don't see that. The situation with Iran and why we are so intertwined? Okay, what do you guys? I'm just gonna time you out. Like, you're not being rude, but you're being very vague, and I don't think you're really adding a lot to the conversation. I'm gonna just time you out. So it's a brand new account. Yeah, that's it. These people are so retarded, they think the only evil is Israel, so blind and ignorant. Yeah, exactly. And I've made many videos, right? And you can just look at Asmongold, Israel. Israel did it again. So this is me criticizing Israel for bombing people in Gaza right here. This is from 6 months ago. This is a civil war. This is, again, me being critical of Israel because of the fact that Ben Shapiro's side of the right wing that is controlled by Israel, I think primarily, is losing ground. This is also, again, this is me critical of Israel whenever Benjamin Netanyahu had a meeting with American and Western influencers and tells them how to explain Israel sentiments. Let's see here. Are there any more of these examples? We had to act. This is also... This is Israel, but I did agree with them on this because it was, again, bombing Iran. This is where our money is going. This is a year ago where I'm very critical of Israel as well. So the truth is that I think that I have a very, very stated, like, a very good record in, I think, being completely honest and totally genuine about this topic. And even if you might disagree with me, you can see that there are not any biases towards any foreign power here. Like, I've been one of the only people who has been truly America first. You seriously underestimate the negative impact that Israel has on us? Well, what do you think that, like, so, why do you think that I underestimate it? I'm asking you, why do you think that? Do you think the World Monitor app, Palantir, for free for everyone to monitor the situation? No, I didn't see that. I'm Israeli. I don't see any issues with your criticism. Yeah, that's why I have a lot of people that watch me that are both Israeli and also, you know, like, fucking, like, all other places. I was going to say Palestinian, but, like, I mean, there are all other places in the entire fucking Middle East, right? I mean, like... It's not crazy to say that. You say you're pro everything and they're against everything because you're pro-American and they're anti-American. I think that a lot of these people do have values that are antithetical to American values. Aren't you a Putin lover, though? I'm not a Putin lover. This war has been on Israel's plan for 40 years. Yeah, and I think that it should have been on America's plan for 40 years because the Islamic dictatorship of Iran is a dangerous dictatorship that should have been shut down immediately, and it should have never been allowed to happen. France basically betrayed us by providing refuge to Khamenei, and they should have executed him. Anything else? Are you pro-war or anti-war? I'm anti-war. That's why I think we should bomb them. They use us to fight their battles. Iran poses no real threat to us. Then why are they killing our people? If they pose no threat to us, then why are they killing our people? And why are they taking over shipping boats? Why are they think about how many billions of dollars every year is put into stabilizing the Middle East because of Iran's regime that funds destabilization. We're attacking them for Israel? Okay, well, if you take Israel out of the equation, do you think that we should, like, let's say Israel doesn't exist and Iran still does that. You wouldn't attack your attackers? I actually don't think that the people on October 7th that were dancing and singing were, you know, and these were American citizens that were killed. I don't think that those were their attackers. I don't think so at all. I don't think that the people that are in the streets that were protesting in Iran were your attackers. I don't think that the boats that were being hit by the Houthis and kidnapped were their attackers either. I think that's a lie. These are innocent civilians that had nothing to do with this. And also, you wouldn't attack your attackers. Well, what about whenever somebody says that they're going to attack you? What about when somebody says they want death to your country? So if that's your reasoning, then why wouldn't you be proactive as well? Also, China and Russia, see, we aren't pussies. And I do think that there's a degree of that. But, like, I'll listen to the rest of it. How many Americans have Iran killed in the past 12 months, not counting this war? I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, you'd have to look it up. Iran is bad, but we don't need to involve ourselves at the cost of American lives. So this is my argument to you, okay? Is that I think that it will cost more American lives in the long term if we don't involve ourselves, because I think that Iran will continue to gain military power and they will continue to fund terrorism, and that terrorism will have effects that kill American citizens. Like, I view this as a trolley problem. Does that make sense to you? Now, you can disagree with my analysis, but like, I'm not advocating. I don't want anybody to die. Nobody wants any Americans to die. That's crazy. Of course not. Why would anybody want that? So you have to think about, why am I saying what I'm saying? We can't afford another North Korea. Yeah, exactly. What happens if they do get a nuclear bomb? This war is inevitable, whether it was now or in 1 or 2 years. Exactly. And the truth is that having it happen now is better, because Iran is at its weakest. Absolutely. They're 100% at their weakest. And I'm waiting to see if there's any more bombing that's happening. Let me go back. I'll pull up this other one too, because there's been a bunch of these people saying this. Let me go back and see this here. Core tenet of the regime is death to America. Yeah, in rocket sirens are sounding in northern Israel. Since the country has no immediate plans to close the Strait of Hormuz, but adds that this war continues, we'll consider every scenario. Okay, so they're going back and forth on that. It seems like they're not. U.S. Department of State submit operations in the U.S. Embassy of Kuwait City. Probably a good idea. And exposure. Oh, this is from an hour ago. Holy shit. Okay, well, let me go back. I'll read this person's comments, and then we'll move on. And this will cause more deaths than if we left Israel to handle it themselves. Well, if they could have handled it themselves, I mean, like, ideally, so, and this is something that neither of us really know the answer to. If there was a universe where Israel was able to beat Iran completely by themselves, and we didn't need to be involved, then I would totally agree with you. But my goal is that Iran is totally dismantled, right? Like, they're totally, like, removed. People forget this happened 10 years ago. So, again, like, that's a separate argument. I don't think that they would be able to. I think that they could massively damage Iran, but I don't think that they could shut them down. Like, I mean, if you think that, that's fine. But, like, I don't think that. Let me look at this here. Oh, yeah. Iran mocks captured U.S. soldiers at parade.
At Iran's shame game reaching a whole new level today.
This is from 10 years ago.
Our captured U.S. soldiers at a parade. These pictures show people gathered for Revolution Day in Tehran. Well, we're about to show these pictures. Actually, those are the pictures. Screen left. Unbelievable. They're showing those at a march there in Tehran, mimicking the sailors right after they were detained for accidentally crossing into Iranian waters back in January. Well, this comes just one day after Iranian state-run media released these pictures showing one of our sailors crying. Our Navy says it is disgusted that Iran is exploited our sailors.
And not only this, but what they did afterwards is that they, what do you call it? Obama gave them a bunch of money. So the odds are they ransomed our sailors back to us, and then Obama had to pay them. I think this will be another Iraq, which will destabilize the region. Iran might have killed a few of us before, but many more now will die as a result. And hopefully that will prevent even more from dying in the long run. And it will destabilize the region. I disagree with you. I think the reason why Iraq destabilized the region was one of the big reasons was because of Iran. Iran was the destabilizing force that caused a lot of those things to happen, because they were funding the destabilizing factors at that time and at this time. So again, like, that's the way I see it. Stop abortion too. And you always have to remove beta males in your country. Obama's a pussy. It should have been immediately retaliation with bombing to glass the entire country. I mean, and again, and so that's another example of Iran being an aggressor towards the United States. So I see this a lot, and I just want people to see that, you know, this is not a country that, you know, has some sort, and this is the instance, where Iran had the ability to act on America and do something negative to America. They did. They did it, and it was right here. And so keep this in mind. Always keep it in mind. Honestly, after seeing this, we're glad they have no ships left. Yes. And Iraq also destabilized because their government was completely removed and law enforcement abandoned their posts. Yeah, I mean, there's like a million different things, right? Was Iran funding terrorist groups in Iraq? Were they? I mean, I don't know if they were back then. I mean, I would assume so, right? I mean, probably through the grapevine, at least, if not directly. And I would assume probably even now to an extent. I don't know. And what's this here? And that was probably due to Iraq being taken down, as they did that to keep Iran in check. Exactly. Yes, they do, of course. And so, like, it's another example of what I was talking about, right? Is that a lot of the destabilization and the chaos comes from Iran. It comes directly from Iran. And people, I don't think they can make that second connection. So, yeah, anyway, this is the guy. This is the guy that they, his arm got broken. Look at this here.
move forward. I do wear my feelings on my shoulders.
I don't want to watch the entire thing, right? But this is him saying he suffers from mental illness due to Gaza genocide. There were some other images about him, things about him. Let me see here. What is this? Obviously an upscale effect. I wish we were that creative. What is this? Is this the Asmongold edited my 1 million YouTube plaque out of the thumbnail and replaced it with some African Picasso painting. Okay, so we AI upscaled the photo, okay? And for some reason, the AI upscaling took away his 1 million subscriber plaque. Let it be known that Sneeko has a 1 million subscriber plaque on YouTube, and this was purely an outcome of the AI, and it was not done to delegitimize or discredit Sneeko. This is just what happens, all right? That's all there is to it. How dare you? I promise, guys, I promise. Fucking amazing. I did not do this. And was it AI originally? Oh, yeah, the original one was AI. Oh, geez, here we go. And comments with average Twitch streamers, cold face type of audience. What is this here? This is some bullshit. Because the audience app is a racist cesspool. I don't know what the fuck this is. This looks like bullshit. McGinnis admits he uses his uniform as a prop while going live on TikTok. What is this?
My recruiter told me I could wear my blues whenever I wanted. You earn the EGA, you can wear it whenever you wanted. And that's what I signed up for. Well, those were the pretenses I signed up for. So I'm gonna wear my blues whenever I want. Because I signed up for it. That's what put my life on the line. Anyway, I got kicked off TikTok Live until September 24th. That sucks. Hopefully I can appeal it. But free Palestine, love y'all. I made a little money on this live. And so I'm going to put it all towards pattern perspective and his campaigns for his Palestinian families. Thank you, love you, free Palestine.
This is the person that wants you to think that he's being pro-America. This is it. This is another foreign country. It's another foreign group. So no, I'm not going to buy into this. Just because you're anti-Israel doesn't mean you're pro-America. Did you see the video of Marco Rubio predicting exactly what happened with Iran 10 years ago? I did. You guys want to see that? Let's go take a look at it. And I thought this was pretty amusing. So let's go back all the way down. There's a lot of these things that have happened. I want to make sure I catch up with everything. It'll take me some time. Where did it go? Oh, this is more of the guy. This is Brian McGinnis hanging out with a Holocaust denier. Let's see if there's any more of these. This is Brian McGinnis again. This is the person that got his arm broken. Yes, yes, and yes. This is him responding to a communist account. And we need a revolution. I'm waking up to the true history of our country and the responsibility we have as American citizens to educate ourselves and steer our country to be a beacon of hope and bring peace to the world. This is a person who is advocating for the original sin of Americans. I totally disagree with that. I think it's disgusting. And we will not die for Israel. We will die for Palestine. There's again another one. So this is another perspective. Like, stop giving a shit about this guy. I try to tell people, man, I did. But for some reason, people don't want to listen. They don't want to pay attention. Has been exposed, ardent pro-Islam, pro-Hamas, pro-illegal alien mouthpiece. I don't know really if this is...
Israelis and causing the ceasefire. The immigrants, the people that are getting taken out by ICE.
Listen to this.
Also continue to support Palestine with our wearing keffiyehs or any type of apparel to show we are a strong front. We must continue to band together with other minorities, the immigrants, the people that are getting taken out by ICE.
See? Shouldn't be taken seriously at all. It's just what I said.
African Americans who
another person who launders the good reputation of legal American immigrants through the bad reputation of illegal aliens that have broken into our country and commit crimes. Disgusting.
Been subjugated for the longest time, and who I believe are the grounds for resistance in America. They have the most experience, the most strength, and the most experience and wisdom, and have fought the longest and hardest in America for this right, physically and mentally, and have the most experience, and must get the respect they deserve. And so let's continue to fight and never stop. This is a lifelong fight for freedom and liberty for all. Through Gaza and through all the evil that's been passed down by oppressors. So free Palestine forever. Keep fighting. Love you, Gazans. May you get aid soon. Free Palestine. Hey, just a word of advice. Keffiyeh is a great neck warmer at this time of year. So if you're looking for one, check it out on TikTok shop. There's some that support Palestinians.
There's a woke general?
And it's a great way to show your support for humanity. We have truth on our side. And so showing your support for humanity and standing for truth is going to win. It's going to take a long time against these big time money builders that are holding us down. But just keep showing support. We will achieve a big enough following and gathering for the truth, and they will run out of money to fight us and suppress us, and we shall win. God willing, inshallah. That's what it means. That's Arabic for God willing. A lot of you guys are freaked out by Arab words, but they're just a different language, so get over it. Free Palestine. Hey, if you think the Free Palestine movement promotes hate, you're wrong. Please take it from me.
There are some people in the Free Palestine movement that do promote hate, but overall, of course, it doesn't.
An American veteran, Brian McGinnis, it's not. I am genuinely speaking up for Palestine because Palestinians have been oppressed militarily for 77 years, and it is wrong. That's the true direction of hate here, is that the state of Israel is hating the Palestinians and is killing them and brutally terrorizing them for years and years and years. And now they're turning around and acting as if they're the victims and they're the ones that are experiencing hate. Just know that the Keffiyeh and the Free Palestine movement are not a hateful group. We are standing up for justice, and don't believe the lies. That's just my plea to you. I'm not a devious person. I am a genuine person, and this is the truth. My family's Palestinian. They are great people. They have they harbor no hate. They are very loving, and so just please don't believe the lie that the Free Palestine movement is a hateful movement. Okay, please.
Man, he's got a lot of these
for justice, for reality. Okay, love. Peace, free, love y'all, Free Palestine.
Yeah, for sure. And so this is the guy, and so he's using his uniform to effectively push anti-American ideals. Things like ICE is bad, like we shouldn't be allowed to have borders. That white people have like some sort of guilt intrinsically. We need to give reparations to black people. No, I'm not going to support this person at all. Absolutely not. You can argue whether or not Israel is terrorizing Palestinians, but if you don't recognize the main people that were doing this are Hamas, you shouldn't have any right to any moral high ground. Exactly. And this is the thing, right, is that you can recognize both of these things as being bad. And I think that's really the difference. And I wish more people would see that, but, who knows where that's going to happen. And then this is, I've got one more. This is a person right here who, so whenever Hamas was releasing hostages, they told the people that were, being released that they had to kiss the heads of the people who were basically holding them hostage. And this was a photo op propaganda tool that was made by terrorists in order to soften the Western's perspective on terrorism. And this is him, somebody who's running as a American, an American representative that's literally reposting terrorist propaganda. This is a person that's reposting terrorist propaganda right now. So there you go. I can't believe these people exist. There's plenty of people that are crazy. And so anyway, this is it. Oh, there's another one. Nazis. Again, this is Gaza, etc. I mean, this is, I'm not going to defend Israel. It has nothing to do with that. But yeah, this is generally the way that I see it.